Hey everybody, it is Elsa932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. We are here for season 19 of Married at First Sight, episode 7. And let's get into it because we have a lot of ground to cover. So we find that Chad has gotten lights for the balcony and is also hanging an American flag. And I was like, Chad, yeah, this fits what exactly I'm thinking of, okay? And he has flowers in the apartment for his wife, Belinda. We see Brittany. They both talk about their preferences as far as carpet. They need they need to get some carpets for the apartment and about wearing socks in the house and, how often. They have a little, engaging conversation. Now, Josh does take Jalen roller skating and he's letting her experience a whole new set of things. And I love the fact that she is jumping in with both feet. We then see Derek and Megan, and they're both taking Zoe for a walk. And I love to see this because, yes, Megan needed to be there. Sorry. Yeah, Megan needed to be there while he was walking Zoe. And y'all, funny enough, because she thrusted him to walk Zoe the whole time, while Megan is holding the leash, Zoe's walking next to Derek. Because that's what she's gotten used to. I don't know how many days happened that Derek was doing it, but Zoe already is attached to him or attaches walking with him. Brittany and Will, they talk about soap operas, and he's like, I thought they were all done. Well, no, they're still running. They're still running. And they talk a little bit about work. She cooks for him, and he said, yes, you cook because I love the view. He's looking at her. And she says cooking is her way of showing love. He is more verbal in this and can't wait for her to do the cooking again tomorrow. I said, okay, I see a little jokey joke. But hey, since she enjoys cooking, that's wonderful. But she's all up under him, looking at him when he takes his first bite. And I remember I used to be like that. Brittany, I used to be like that. But, you want your partner to enjoy your culinary skills. And he ate real fast, he said, because it was so good. So I thought he was pulling at her plate and like going for food on her plate. And y'all know if you've been around here, I don't like that. Don't just try and grab stuff from my plate. So no, he was actually pulling a piece of her hair that fell on her plate. And he was just, taking it away. So she asked, how do you feel? I'm shedding everywhere. And he's like, it's just hair. It's not a problem. Now that's lovely. Because for me, I just was like, the shedding of it, Brittany. How much shedding were we doing? Because they say her hair is everywhere. What? How much shedding are we doing? Let us not get into the quality of the hair, please, that she's buying and using. But I'm like, even with my natural hair, when it's out, there's hair, around, but it doesn't fall everywhere. So I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, but he does say what his pet peeve is actually if he has to reiterate himself. Basically, if he has to say the thing over and over again. He said he would not leave her, though, if she were bald, because that's the only solution. He's like, why would I be, testy about your hair? There's nothing we could do about it unless you get bald, and he would not leave her. And she thought that was so cute. He's like, I don't know. What happens if I turn bald? She jokes that she may leave him if he gets bald. He's like, wait a minute, it might happen. So I love the banter they had, and I think we're seeing more. Will is not going to sweat the small stuff. He's not going to sweat it. Now, is it because he don't like her, or is it because it's not that important to him? We shall see. He also talks about he's going to be leaving for work for 3 to 4 days, and they have to navigate this, and we will see how they get there. We see Pat and Rhonda. She comes back to the apartment. They did go to bed together. They did kiss and make up. And they discuss how they can bring up issues with each other in the future. They agree that using the tools from Dr. Pia is the best thing. And when they both mess up, as Rhonda said, and Pat agreed they will both mess up, just gentle reminders. They do share I love yous. And I love that they kind of ended this on a good note. A good note. We see it's 43 days until the decision day. Josh and Jalen and Chad and Belinda are having a crawfish brawl. Chad is cooking and managing it. He said he loves to do this and he loves this with a family. Belinda's family's coming, so that's why Jalen and Josh are there, but also one of her other sons show up. The food is good, so good that Belinda says she's intimidated by his cooking. She is intimidated by his cooking. I said, daggone it. You know what? I understand you, Belinda, but ain't nothing like a man who could really cook. I mean, really cook. Okay? Okay. So the guys talk. Chad does share that he shared I love yous with Belinda, but she did not say it back. But they're like all hopeful for him. And Belinda's son says he does see that his mother is into Chad because of how she's behaving and how she even seems like she's glowing. The girls talk, and Belinda shared that Chad did say I love you. And she, wants him to have a special moment, but love is brewing for her. And I was like, is that a little bit of cop out? Belinda, is that a cop out? You can say I love you back to him. That's not taking away his moment. It's your moment. So Jalen, that is her daughter. That's why the girls are talking. It's really mother-daughter. She said, hey, both Josh and I have said I love yous. She doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. She also shares about how she saw her mother struggle and how it was tough for the mom to start over because the mom had to enter the workforce for the first time in over 20 years. But Belinda does want her daughter to be protected. So she says, hey, you got to talk to Josh about that post-nump and see how you are protected in this. Megan and Derek, they go visit her house. Her Christmas tree is still standing. Her Christmas tree is still there. I know it couldn't be a real Christmas tree because it would have been brown by now. But it looked like a real Christmas tree. Megan, throw a sheet over it, please. Do something. Do something, okay? So we get a montage of all the couples too. Will, they go to his apartment, and Brittany says that his closet is way more organized than hers. Then we see Belinda shows her closet to Chad, shows him a little cheerleader outfit. She's like, it don't fit. But if it did, Chad had a good old chuckle with that. Now, Rhonda and Pat get plans for her backyard, out and around to different spots around there, and they get into the conversation. She brings up how she felt she needed to protect herself when he mentioned moving in. Her last marriage, they didn't move in together until 1 week before the wedding, her and the 3 kids. And I said, how are you marrying a man and you don't know if he's going to blend well with your kids living together? 1 week before the wedding? Who does that? Who does that? Y'all got to figure it out. Y'all can't figure it out. And the wedding, y'all got to live together at that point before. But she did say she moved into his place. So she says it was a month in and it didn't feel like it was both of their spaces. It became more about they were living at his house in his space, and she couldn't even change the curtains and the bed sheets. She was very uncomfortable. The kids were uncomfortable, but she doesn't want to be that to Pat. So he said, we don't have an answer today. He does want to be with her, and being her helper and being in her space and being welcomed in her space right now, he thinks is a great step forward. Okay. Including him in the rearranging and decorating of her space is exactly what he needs to start to feel welcomed. And I love that. I'm glad she was able to open up about it to him. We see Jalen and Josh and Dr. Pia visits, and they, apparently Jalen want to iron out that post-nump, okay? She says she does not want a divorce. She don't even want to think about that. And she doesn't want to end up like her mom. So Dr. Pia wants to play a game of questions. Yes, she asked a question, but I'm going to stick to the 2 that stood out for me. So one of the questions is, I will share my passwords, all of my passwords with my spouse. They both agree. Then another one was follow my exes. Jalen's like, I don't follow my exes. They don't follow me. So she's like, I'm good. Josh, though, says he does follow an ex and she follows him. He understands and he will cease communications with her. And I said, pump the brake. There's a difference between following on social media and communication. So Josh, you talking to the ex. He said he will no longer talk and chat. I said, there we go. There we go. That's going to be the kryptonite in this relationship. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to stop talking to the ex. And the ex going to want to know why. This to me is where I think, everything is sunshine and rainbows is going to dim the light. It's going to dim the light. Because she is like, cut it all off. And he is like, I'll cut off some communication. Or I'll cut off communication and no longer talk with them. So you're talking and chatting. You're DMing. It may be cool and friendly, but it's still something that she's uncomfortable with. So Dr. Pia asks the next question, are you comfortable with the money talk? They both agree, and they talk about the post-nump. Josh said, hey, um, you know, he was very happy that she took the conversation so well in the beginning. Jalen says she don't care about, his money, but she cares about she doesn't want to be like her mom. And, that is what caused her to be ultra independent. She ain't looking for what he has, but, if she has to be a stay-at-home mom, she wants to make sure she's protected. He says he doesn't see a need for a post-nup. I was like, what about your business partner? Business partner, could you chime in here? But he said, I don't see a bad bone in her body. And, because of that, he don't think they need to have a post-nup, and his business partner is not worried. But you love each other now, Josh. Y'all, I'm sorry. Wrong answer, Josh. Y'all love each other now. Okay? We don't know what's going to happen 20, 30 years from now, or whenever, if ever. At that time is when y'all don't like each other. Okay? So that post-nup is to protect you and her. Because what if she's like, oh no, I deserve half for all the foolishness you done put me through. Now you're not protected. So what happens later? Okay? And this is why I'm going to be watching All's Fair on Hulu with the women divorce attorneys that's taking it over with the all-star cast. This is why I'm going to be watching it. We see Belinda and Jalen are talking. Okay, Jalen, I think, goes over to Belinda's house. Yes, she does. Because Chad left a note on the table, on the counter, expressing that he misses her already, blah, blah, blah. They have a wonderful, cute note. I say blah, 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 but, it's a cute note, because he had to leave for the day, I guess, before she either got home or, he left after her. So when she got home, she saw the note. So the mom does express to Chad that he needs to keep on doing this, because she really liked it. And Jalen said she's glad her mom found someone who brings her happiness. And Belinda said this is worth the risk. We see Derek. Derek goes out with one of his friends, Scott. And he says it feels like a year. And they do bring up the kids talk because his friend knows that Derek really wants to have kids. And he's like, he's not sure how she feels about being a mom. She did say she wants to have a kid, but he wants 3. He wants a big family. Okay? He's like, at both of them being 38, there's a limited window, but she has frozen her eggs. So the friend is like, make sure you're honest about your common goals for having kids. And what if she says it's a challenge? What if she's not as excited as you are? Derek says, we're going to have to talk more about it. But he's not willing to compromise about having a big family. Now, here's my thing, Derek. Because Megan froze her eggs, you should know she wants to be a mother. Now, whether it's 2, 3, or how much, that's a discussion to have. But don't question how she feels about being a mom. You're not sure. She's real sure about it because she is paying to keep those eggs frozen. So, I think you're trying to cook something up, Derek. I'm sorry. So we see a montage. Belinda does cook for Chad. And I guess she was like, okay, but he's sitting there and he's observing her and he's loving it. Absolutely loving everything about her. We see Jalen is cooking for Josh and she's very animated, like, Jalen, calm down. Calm down. We see Will and Brittany. Will does call Brittany before bed while he's away on the job. She keeps complimenting him how good he looks. Yeah, oh, you had a new haircut. Oh, you look good. I see the tattoos coming out up under that shirt. Brittany, I see you. She keeps on complimenting him. And he does say he misses her smile and they compliment each other. And they have a really, really good conversation, a really good call for a couple. But she's like, ooh, that boy look good. Good to know they're having those conversations and good to see, Will, that you're being more verbal. Megan and Derek, she works in commercial real estate. She thought it wasn't going to be too much, but it is. They play a game, the games at her office, because she put up office games and she's never played them. She never, played pool and she never did the ring toss at her office. But y'all, it's in a commercial space, but it looks like a storage facility, but it looked real good in there. The way it was decorated, it looks really, really good. He does bring up the family planning talk and she gets a bit defensive that his friend brought it up. And Megan is like, being, pregnant, it excites her, but it also scares her. But she is irritated because they're having unprotected intercourse. Why? If we don't know about parenting and all that stuff, why are we taking the chance? Why are we out here raw? Oh my gosh, why? She feels blindsided because he is talking to his friend about this and not her. And Derek, that's the problem. You should not have brought up, oh, my friend and I were talking, oh, my friend asked. You should say, hey, I was talking with my friend, and you know what it brought up for me? That I really need to talk to you about your thoughts, really about being a parent. Don't bring your friend is worried or concerned or is inquiring. You shouldn't have done that part. But he says she gets defensive, and this is what gives him concern. He doesn't want to bring things up because she acts like this. She has scared him into bringing things up so it doesn't feel like she's attacked. He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to bring it up because she'll do what she does right now in this moment, is run away again. We see Brittany and Will. He comes home and she apparently brought him some food. She was like, oh, you want me to heat it up? Do you want something to drink? He's like, no, I just want to cuddle on the couch, cuddle and talk and be affectionate. And she's like, oh, okay. You sure you don't want something? He's like, I just want to cuddle on the couch with my wife. And she just sits back down and they have a great moment. 37 days till decision day. We see Derek. His issue with Brittany is unresolved, but the men go over to Derek's house and the ladies gather at Jalen's house. So let me start with just the guys. They joke on Pat because apparently Pat is making all kind of loud noises, he and Rhonda, from their apartment because he lives above, I believe, Josh. And the men do talk very well about their wives. Pat seconds Will's word on his marriage about learning, that they're learning the person that they are with. Derek does share with the guys how it's been a roller coaster. He shares what has been going on with him and Megan. Now, Chad says, hey, fellas, give yourself grace because this is not normal. So correct, Chad. So we go to the girls, and Rhonda says she's trying harder because they're married, because if this was just a dating situation, she'll be gone. So did Brittany co-sign that. Brittany does say they're really good. He called her before bed every night while he was away, and the feelings are growing. Now, Jalen says, she's more open to trying new things with Josh. Belinda said that they were on the way home one day and they were singing. And then when they got home, they danced together and she really enjoyed that. Megan says, it by the day, by the minute depends, on how good everything is. And they're good. There have been setbacks, but it's making them stronger. She did not want to share with the girls because she figured this, because it's unresolved, or maybe she just don't want people in her marriage. She did not want to share the issue she had with Derek. Now remember, I just said Derek was telling the fellas. So there's going to be some pillow talk. The girls are going to hear from their husbands what Derek said. And now Megan, I feel Megan's going to feel some kind of way. So Chad, we see, is coming down the hallway. Ooh, doing a little shimmy and a shake down the hallway to his house. Couldn't find his key for a moment. He's tipsy. He ain't all the way to the wind because he could still find where he lives. But he is tipsy. He comes in. He calls her beautiful. You're just the most beautiful. You are awesome. He's dancing down the hall. And she's like, oh, you're dancing? He's like, I'm dancing for you. He's trying to be all kinds of cute. And, he says she makes his heart sing. He loves her because he said it earlier, remember? And this time she says it back. And he said, this is the best night ever. I'm so glad this ain't the first time he said it because he's so tipsy. Because if you tell me this while you're tipsy, I'm going to think, that this ain't really, what you feel. But they say a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. So maybe he does really, really mean it when he's tipsy. But I'm glad it's not the first time. I'm glad he said it before what I assume it is, really sober. Megan and Derek, she said she did not share with the group because she is still processing this. And some things they need to keep between them and not share with everyone. Did you share this with Derek? Did you tell Derek, please don't share it with the guys? Could we keep this between us? Because he's going to be looking for help in navigating this because the other men are navigating just like him. And I hope she don't hold this against him that he did share. But Derek says that he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. Megan says, hey, yeah, but it's my feelings that he can't tell her how to feel about what he did. And he said, true enough. Now she goes to the room, she running again, and the beat goes running, and all I keep thinking is Megan goes running, and running. I mean, daggone it. She calls him to the room. to close the door like everything ain't mic'd up in the whole apartment. And he says he feels like she escalates when he brings things up. He wants to have a civil conversation and then she will blow up, and it's not warranted. He just wants to have a good discord with his person. And I understand that because, yes, Megan, you are upset that his friend is the one he's talking to about this, but you can still express that without getting irritated enough to run away. So he asks, what can he do better next time? How can I bring this up to you next time when everything is calm, cool, and collected? And Megan says he can just take accountability and get off his high horse. And just like me, Derek says, I'm going to need more than that. I'm going to need more than that. Be specific, Megan. What can he do? What can he say? How can he say it? Because you can't just be triggered all the time. It can't be just because you're triggered. You have to be able to say, hey, I'm not really feeling this. I'm getting irritated. It's giving me you don't have emotional regulation, Megan. That you get hot and bothered and you run off. She walks away when he asks what he did wrong. And she said she's done. And she goes, looks like she walks out the apartment. That's the end of the episode, y'all. Megan got me hot. Because I'm like, Derek, what did I do? How can I do better? Tell me, walk me through the steps. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know how he can do better. And that's what's irritating her. That's why she thinks he's on a high horse. That's why she thinks he's aloof. Because he's asking her to do things that she has no idea what to do. He's asking her to be emotionally regulated and to be emotionally elevated. And Megan is not there. And she is resenting him for being there. Derek is no saint. But by no means is he a saint. But the thing is, he's making her feel less than. Remember she said earlier she's a perfectionist? Well, Derek is making her feel way less than, and that does not fly for Megan. And that's why she gets hot. And she runs because she's got no proper response or no even keel response to exactly what she wants and how he can do better. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me for this recap and review of Married at First Sight episode 7. I hope I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.